Game 6 back in Boston. Can Boston tie it up and push a Game 7? Let me know. Let's go. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Keg, back with another NBA Prize Picks video. I'm also going to talk about my friends over at OddsJam, kind of show you how I use their tools to try to find some picks over at Prize Picks as well. But Game 6, we got Game 6 on our hands here. Do you think Golden State's going to finish it, or do you think we're going to push a Game 7? I personally think Boston's going to come out strong. They're going to push a Game 7. I think the refs and the NBA are on the side of Boston tonight, and they let them get it done here. Now, the big question I think here is, what do you think they're going to do to Draymond Green and Klay Thompson? Klay Thompson, not sure if it was very smart to make that remark. He kind of, in a presser after last game, he's never been so excited to go back to Boston. And a little context to that, if you kind of remember, he talked a little bit about how he kind of basically said the fans of Boston weren't classy because they're dropping F-bombs. So it should be a good one tonight. Look really forward to it. And I got 4 picks for you here. We'll dive into each of them real quick. Again, we'll talk about site over at OddsJam as well and kind of go in that as well. So, hey, let's just dive right into it and see what we got on tap for today. All right, here we go. We got Prizepicks.com. If you do not have an account, make sure you head on over there and use that promo code DFSArmy and get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. If you are a new account holder, you're also eligible for a free month of DFSArmy VIP membership. Everything is in the description below. Let's go. All right, I got 4 plays for you here. We're going to start out with the NBA first half play here because I think Boston's going to come out on fire, and I think they're going to be, and I think it's going to be led by their leader here, and I really do. I'm taking fantasy score, and this is more just of a gut call than anything else. But Jayson Tatum over 22.5 fantasy points first half. It's an elimination game for him. They're going to play, great ball here. The 2 games that he's played in Boston in this series, he's put up 25 and 30 fantasy points in those games. So I think we're going to see another big game out here. I love this play from Jayson Tatum. I think he's going to have a massive first half here. This is by far my favorite play of all the prize picks I'm going to give you here today. And again, this is more of how I think the game's going to go. If you think Golden State is going to come out and punch them in the mouth and they're not going to get there, then I wouldn't take this play. Again, I've always talked about this. Build game scripts. How do you think the game is going to go? Elimination game at home for Boston. Like I said, I think the refs and NBA is going to be on their side and give them calls. I think Tatum's going to be super aggressive with the ball in his hand, and it's one that I want to take here. So I'm going to go Jayson Tatum over 22.5 fantasy points first half. I know I get a lot of these questions sometimes. How do you get that line at 22.5 fantasy score? Because it's first half. It's not total game. So that's the first one we're going to talk about here. Definitely my favorite out of all of them. Going back here, I got 3 more. And the first one we'll talk about, we'll head on over to points, rebounds, and assists. Actually, no, I take that back. We're going to go over to points and assists. Now, this line's pretty low, but I'm just taking this narrative a little bit and kind of running with it, just with the way we've kind of seen things and the way that Boston has just got into his head. And I'm talking about Draymond Green, and we're going to go under 13.5 points in assists. I think Boston comes out and just smashes them in the mouth, plays really hard here. And 13.5, he only put up 5 and 10 in the 2 games that he played Boston. He's went under this in 3 of the 5 games they played. He only had 9 in game 1, 16 in game 2, 5 in game 3, 10 in game 4, and just squeaked it out, honestly, in 14 in game 5 here. Now, again, they got in his head, and I think they're still in his head when it comes to playing in Boston. This dude's fouled out in 3 of the 6 games. He fouled out game 1, game 3 in Boston, and then the last game he fouled out as well. So I think, again, the NBA, they want to push this to a game 7. They want those ratings. They want that money. And Draymond is his own worst enemy. He doesn't know when to shut up. So I think it's going to hurt him. And the way I see this game going, I'm just going to take Draymond and take the under there. So before I drop these next two picks, let's head on over to OddsJam. Can I kind of show you a little bit about that? And then we'll come back and drop these other two picks. All right, as you see, I have oddsjam.com pulled up here. You can easily come over to the site, oddsjam.com. I'll leave the link in the description below. You get a free 7-day trial for them as well. And you can also get an email if you sign up for their email list. 3 free arbitrage bets daily that are profitable. You're just basically betting both sides of the book. They're a guaranteed profit, and they will give you 3 of them daily. So what I do, pull down these sports. They got all the sports you can offer here. Very nice. You come in here and you can type in, if you can do the drop down as well here, when of course we're pulling up the basketball game, or you can just type this stuff in. If you want to do player points, it's very easy. Just type in whatever you want, kind of see what they have to offer here. And we'll just look at some of these and kind of show you what it's all about and what we're looking for. So basically, we have the Prizepicks line here, and then we have OddsJam perfect line here. So we're comparing these two. You'll notice that the Prizepicks lines are always minus 137. The reason is that if you do a 2-man power play, basically minus 137, you play 2 of them, it's plus 200. So it's just simple math of what odds they're giving you, because it doesn't matter over under. The odds are always going to be minus 137 because you have to play at least 2. The odds would be a little bit better if you played, or the odds would be like minus 120 something if you played 3 and etc. But this is based if you're playing 2 plays. So what we're doing is looking for anything that's going to stick out that's over this minus 137 mark. That means you're getting some good value. So we're kind of looking under here. Now they got Wiggins under 18.5 at minus 137. He's been playing phenomenal. I don't think I would touch Wiggins. If you notice in that first video I did on game 1, I said to grab him at MVP at plus 4,000. I think he's sitting at plus 1,400 now. I wouldn't be surprised if you know, he has a shot at winning that MVP like Iggy did back in, I don't remember what finals that they won. Just with the way he's been playing, I hope you put a few pennies on that, because I think it still could happen. But again, as we're looking through this, seeing this Prizepicks line and kind of seeing where this at. So they get Draymond Green under minus 133 at under 7.5 points. Again, I think they just stop Draymond Green. They focus on that. I have no problem taking Draymond Green at the under at that point. You know, even though it's at minus 133 and I'm looking for something over minus 137, he only put up 2 points in both games 3 and 4 at Boston. So they definitely have his number, and he's only went over the 2 games. The 2 games he went over this, he went up 9 and 8 points. So he's not a scorer. You know, does a little bit of everything, but hasn't looked good at all. So I have no problem taking the under on this if you wanted to, but that's what we're looking for. Now they have at Prizepicks, they got it at 7. I'm still fine if you want to take the under at 7 at that point. But this is what we're looking for. This is basically how I use the site. Type in whatever. I wouldn't touch Jaylen Brown points because these Boston guys could go absolutely off here. Again, Tatum, they got a minus 123 and the over 27.5. I think he's going to have a monster game here. I would take the over on this as well, but nothing I think that I would absolutely play over here. Now they got, there's another one we can look at here. Klay Thompson under 20.5 at minus 151. I have no problem taking the under here. Again, I think Boston's going to get in his, now he's been shooting better, don't get me wrong. But this is where I'm looking at to take just a shot at. It's 19.5. It's not 20.5, but I still think you could take a shot at this with Klay Thompson. But this is kind of how you use this. It's very simple to use. Again, check my friends out over at oddsjam.com and try that free 7-day membership out. But with that, let's go back and talk about the 2 more plays that I have on tap for Prizepicks real quick. All right, like you see here, first one here, Jayson Tatum over 22.5 first half fantasy points. Like I said, that's my favorite. Draymond Green under 13.5 points and assists. And we're going to kind of go a little bit, how am I going to say this? This is a play that normally I don't play role players on the road, but if I think Draymond's going to struggle a little bit, I think Kevon Looney can honestly get there. 7.5 points here is low. He's went over this mark in 4 of the 5 games in this series. And he's went for 9, 14, 9, 8, and they only put up 5 in game in game 5 there. He only played 17 minutes. He had 5 fouls, so he struggled with fouls here. When he put up 8 points and assist here in game 4, he didn't even start. Otto Porter did. So I think he's going to get run regardless here. I don't mind throwing him out there in this one at 7.5. The juice is on the over at -135, -140 in spots. It's definitely my least confident play out of the 4. So if you wanted to leave it out, I understand. But it kind of, shot out there a little bit for me. He's went over this number in 8 of his last 10 games. And it's just a unique number that I think we can get there. And they're going to need his size going up against, especially if Rob Williams is out there dominating. When they go small, man, and Rob is out there just dominating, they got to have a little bit of size. So I'm going to take the over on this on Kevon Looney at 7.5 points, but it is my least confident play out of the 4. And then the last one, we're going to go, again, I expect big games out of these Boston guys, and we're going to get all the minutes in the world. I'm taking Marcus Smart, and I'm taking the over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assist here. The 2 home games he has played, he's put up 36 and 27. Even this game that he did lose, in game 5, he put up 25. So he almost had that at 25. Shot 7 for 15. He's taken a ton of shots. 17, 18, 15 these last 3 games. Playing 40 minutes those last 3 games as well. Put up 24, 18, and 20 points. The rebounds were down a little bit that last game at 3. But before that, 7 and 4. And the assists were down a little bit as well at 2. But I expect all those peripherals to go up here in a game at home in a must-win situation. I'm going to take the over on Marcus Smart, 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So if I had to rank these, I would definitely rank Jayson Tatum first half fantasy points as number 1. I would take Marcus Smart over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists as number 2. And then I would take Draymond Green under 13.5 points and assists as number 3. And again, Kevon Looney, this is one I'm most nervous about. I'm not going to play this one a ton, but I just kind of wanted to mention it as a play that I'll have a little bit of coin on it, but not a ton. I'm going to stick mainly with how I think the game script's going to go and play these 3 plays the most here. So hopefully that helped you out a little bit. Again, appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Enjoy some Game 6. Go Boston.